Good morning, peace and power. Give myself a little properly, tired here. Do it like this so that, we got to be respectful. Peace and power once again. This is Humam Abdulmalik. I guess I'll say Poetry Corner. A rendition of Jazz Overnight portion of that Poetry Avenue. And this morning, I just want to share with us. I feel so good because the breath of life. Once again, I'm allowed to open my eyelids to venture in today, another journey into life and all that it offers and what I offer to it. Trying to elevate myself so I can help elevate my family, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, and the community. So that's what we got to do in the essence of unity. And today is just, oh man, it just feels so beautiful. I just want to mention about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had those full moons back to back. It was awesome. I know the first moon was so beautiful. I was like, at all, right? And then the second moon came, and I seen that, and I felt something, some energy. I'm a Cancer, a monkey, and a woodpecker in Native American astrology, a monkey in Chinese astrology, and a Cancer in, I think I'll say Orthodox for for a word to describe that. And that feeling from that second full moon, it was awesome. It was like a lot of energy came into me and like enhanced my inner being, and I just wanted to share that. And I want to share this morning. These two poems I might read first is not mine. It's and I'm not plagiarizing anything. It was my poet, one of my poetic partners in my sojourn here on this poetic journey. And this is called The Plight of the African. And I'll say who is by so they can get the credit. This is by Kimberly Harris, a wonderful matriarchic warrior queen, always active in the community. And it's here it goes right here. From the shores of the various African destinations, stripped from our royal culture spiritually in native regions for white supremacy, enslavement reasons, pressed together like sardines in between urine and defecation, losing our heritage and family values by being sold, stripped of our diamonds and gold, just a mandingo, winch, or showpiece hoe. African heritage eradicated, my people annihilated through orchestrated separation, moaning frequently, verbal desires like, give us free, seeking to be myself, me, preemptive escapes from bondage, captivation, and challenges to a racist government that ultimately moved us off the unbearable vessel stationed from the plantation to the north for the so-called freedom migration, a false sense of Negro liberation, praying to a white God for salvation, looking for true participation in white supremacy nation, led to the need for equality and desegregation, which prompted the fight for integration and the desire for new laws, more unfair legislation, civil and human rights became. Dr. King Jr. dream and a white mother's SBA business evaluation, coupled with a minority versus black continuously losing ground, and that short-lived Black Wall Street business sensation. Haters with fire hoses, bloodhounds, and guns killing off our leaders by lynching and assassination, leading the African American male into destruction, stages of depression, of oppression, and sessions of self-mutilation. The black family now mostly living in a working class situation, selling drugs, just trying to make it, until the Black Panther feeding and the Poor People's Campaign and now Black Power movement were enough is enough was the main conversation. From Tricky Dick Nixon, politicking, and the secret Watergate taping, still asking grandma, why can't I sit down at Woolworth and table, to the funding the war on poverty that created an illusion of welfare reformation. Then the war on drugs directed devilish criminal minds to seize the world markets as pimps sinking deli prostitution. In the meantime, the plan for our misfortune was ultimately black male castration, filling the jail cell with no bail as direct compensation for knifing and killing kids. A KKK hallelujah celebration, especially in D.C., the capital of the nation, got me wondering what happened to the Pledge of Allegiance and to the one nation under God, or under a groove, getting down just for the funk of it conversation. Why are they ignoring and changing the forefathers' Bill of Rights to an at-will constitution? Controlling black achievement was their main agenda and solution. Becoming cops, robbers, judges, politicians, or any job of their choosing. Must eradicate the successful plight of all African people was the undercover plan operation. Let's move them into complete desperation and finally send them to a modern-day plantation. You know, the prison complex, newfangled stock innovation that would replace the age of industrialization. New Jim Crow slavery schemed by the bell curve, mind manipulation, and control group experimentation. We were blindsided by this very proactive situation that called for pushing blacks out of their homes, neighborhoods through gentrification. Trying to be so happy-go-lucky in spite of the nightmare on Elm Street conditions. Thanks to the one percenters, these gangsters will sacrifice their own family members. Texas changing history, printing books saying blacks were slaves, that blacks weren't slaves, just unpaid interns. Let me say that again. Now, Texas is putting this in their school books right now. They already done it. They're saying Texas changing history, printing books saying blacks weren't slaves, just unpaid interns. Boy. Slicky trying to paint a post-racial era with President Obama black's image, camouflaging the overt human tragedy and ongoing sabotage terror. I'm telling you, man, cognitive dissonance is a added illness to the social narcotics of white supremacy and white privilege. And see, this social narcotics is worse than all the other drugs because it's a mental thing that overtakes your spirituality and it has you emulating your own, going against your nature, emulating your natural enemy. Got to be, because ain't no way possible that we can go through what we went through and then we still going through this madness here, and our friends, our brothers, let's heal within our family. Let's heal. Let's stop killing each other, committing crimes against each other, and let's turn a whole 360 degrees. Turn this thing back around the way it used to be, under that matriarchy, harmonious order. and let's be mentally and spiritually free. So this next one I want to go into is called, where's the morality of this land? The gentrification of the entire nation created by holy damnation. Wonder, is it okay that the same-sex relations has now copy legal civil rights implications while promoting new sexual sensations? Woman openly intimate with another woman, man openly loving another man. Somebody please help me understand, where is the morality in this land? Pastor sleeping with teenagers, Catholic molesting little boys, Congress converting student pages into their personal boy toys. People freaking animals loving promo more than their spouses. Who knows what is really happening inside of today's churches or family houses? Hypocrisy everywhere, people cheating and lying to their lover, truly acting undercover. Somebody please help me understand, where is the morality in this land? Protesters at Occupy New York, Chicago, and D.C. suggest for the 99% represents you and me. But please tell the sister, why should this be? The cause of being an American in this country has been systematically failing thee. Families keep trying to get or remain debt free. At least they all would be living on the street, man, in poverty. May God bless this crumbling U.S. economy. Somebody please help me understand, where is the morality in this land? The rich are getting richer while the poor gets poor. Pure overwhelming unhappiness, new higher stats and homelessness. I said new stats and homelessness. That's right. A perpetual state of joblessness is now sending the people of these United States into sudden death slaughter. Who can afford to raise a son or a daughter? The reality. Somebody please help me understand, where is the morality of this land? Surviving this life could mean eating out of a trash can. Whoa, I'm telling you, richest country on the planet Earth. Materialistic. Or building castles out the sand. Somebody please help me understand, where is the morality in this land? It's the United States of hypocrisy, if you ask me, but don't ask me, because that's what I'm going to tell you, because the United States of America is a corporation of England, you see, and it's a cobble nation, Washington, D.C., London, and England, London and Rome, cobble nations. And if I say something, just don't take it for granted. What I'm saying is that what it be. Get the definition and see for yourself. Look it up. You got that apparatus. All you got to do is say, what is this? Or get a book and read. So I'm going to speak the truth every time I speak. I'm going to stay aloof from falsehood, because it ain't about that. We've been through too much turmoil in our lives to be, perpetrating the fraud. I can't do that. Cannot do that. If I don't know something, I'm going to look it up, find it out, and I'm going to ask somebody. Because, see, I'm a student teacher. Spiritual warrior, mystical warrior, warrior, priest, king, and a mystic griot. I'm anointed in the light of Christ. Because Christ ain't nothing but a title. And it's in my DNA to be a servant of the people. And where I serve the people, I serve the Creator. Well, this one, I'll just do 2 poems today. I want to take a commercial break, too. This right here is shea butter for those who want that naturally smooth skin. My sisters or my brothers, this is what I'm doing. I'm selling this. This is a $5 bucket Kenyatta shea butter. Also, this is a $10 bucket of shea butter, natural butter, Kenyatta. And I get that through my brother, Amawale, Sane. Matter of fact, on my Wally, I might have to be getting rearing up for that. And this here right here, it's a long poem. I mean, so bear with me. Let me give me some water. Now, I try to go all the way through it. I hope I don't like get dried out verbally. Let me see, where should I start? It's so long. Historical piece. Oh, here you go. I gotta start on this side. This is the beginning of it. So here I go. Bear with me now. Bear with me. This is, the other pieces, like I said, that was about the sister. I can't take no claim for that fame there. Beautiful poems. I got another one by another sister, and it's also beautiful. I gotta get that. These are very poetic. You can learn from these words and see the history of them. Not only the history of what we're going through now. It ain't no mystery. It's all by design. Believe that. Polytricksters, got their 20-year plan. How long had this gentrification been going on around the country? I know at least about 10, 15 years or longer than that, but at the beginning of it was that long ago. And then now, look where the level of it is now, especially in Washington, D.C. When you can come from Chocolate City, from chocolate city to chocolate chip. We almost at vanilla wafer right now. If we don't wake up and take a stand and unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure and get in that synergy and under the same frequency, vibration, and energy, then we're going to be pushed out again, like they pushed us out from Georgetown, and like they pushed us out from Wall Streets around the country. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Smallwood, Florida. We can't go for that. No, we can't go for that. Enough is enough. Stand up and do something. Unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. And stop the self-destruction. Yeah, stop the self-destruction. And I like to compliment the beautiful queens who put that piece together, rendition of the brothers doing it. And they won awards and stuff like that. And matter of fact, I was a part of that video that they put together. I can't tell you who I am, so you will see me, then you'll know. But anyway, here's the poem. What's really going on? Oh God, as we proceeded from the loins of our fathers and mothers, like no others, we heeded the call of the divine laws given to us from purified pages and a sanctified sage. Generation after generation, you bless us to reach other levels of elevation. Without hesitation, we look to you for our salvation through our natural acts of libation to those who came before us, that showed us the universal way. Harmony and peace was part of our rehearsal every day, because we listened to what the elders had to say and understood that the community was our unity, that the we was always greater than the I. This was our guidance from our beginnings. So many seasons ago, our elders said, never let that treasure go. We didn't, but it had to be our alter egos. Well, where'd they come from? Since we are the original people and the Creator made us first, unless they were a curse. What's really going on? So many of them we could hear and smell as they stayed back in the woods like animals. We wonder, how could we meet someone so beastly in this manner? As we walked around in grandeur and eloquence, and they brought among our people disease and pestilence. This is a testament from the griots of our village of many seasons ago, the keeper of our story in the early days of our glory. As the savage became more humane and overcame the camalistic nature, we began to feel more safer. We began to extend ourselves more generously and live among each other more harmoniously, until they started to suffer from something they call leprosy. They became lighter still and couldn't stand the sun. The elders really started to wonder, where did they come from? Our alter egos, since we were the original people and the Creator made us first, so they had to be cursed. So the elders banned them from the village and tribes, so off through the mountains they went in order to survive. What's really going on? After 1,000 seasons had passed, we didn't know how much longer the lessons the elders had taught us would last. As our civilization grew so enormously vast, federations and unions we developed that covered the whole landmass, called Agabu land. Then we let our guards down as we allowed strange men amongst us once again. This time it would be the ultimate sin, because it was after the Nicene Council of 325 AD, when they took the good and replaced it with evil and camouflaged the evil as though it was good. And the Pope did all he could to justify the lie that they had to save the heathens of the dark race, when it was them that was out of place. And their society engrossed in greed, lust, and almost anything to deprive you, as they connive and lie to you about the truth. And then if you didn't lay aloof from them, then they will hem you up and enslave you, as though someone can really pay for you. Only our alter egos, since we are the original people, and the Creator made us first, so they had to be accursed. But they lied and sent us to their church and said we had the curse of Ham, and turn the other cheek and be of those who are meek. And seek the kingdom of God, but first remember, you got to die, and that you have to slave real hard and please me, meaning him, meaning that Caucasian, that Agathor. So what's really going on when you know this is against the norm? As the horn takes the place of the drum beat and we suffer defeat after defeat, how bleak it was for us when they forced us to believe in a God that they trust in. You know what I mean. It was the gun that kept us on the run. So the deities of 1776 got together to unleash their bag of social tricks and called it the Constitution, and solution to all their problems in their Masonic kingdom, as the British crown was put down. And there lay Christopher Addicks, the first slave to die for their freedom and not his own. What's really going on? In 1865, the law was passed giving 3/5 of a human being his rights. The same law saying it's your right to worship the devil, the enemy of God and all humanity. And you must separate the church and state. That's probably why the politicians lie so much. As the Berlin Conference of 1884 gave the now called European all that he was seeing in his exploitation of the now called Africa, Agabu land was no more, and we saw colonization soar, and slavery was exported to the American shore. And this is the divide and conquer they mention. The slave and the colonized can't even realize they're the one and the same, brother and sister. We must understand it was them that tricked us with their deception, distortion, and lies to the colonized about the enslaved to keep us both in a mental grave. The only thing that will save us from the road they paved for us is our spiritual and cultural connection, because we are the original people. And the Creator made us first. But our alter ego said we were cursed. And it was wrote down, so we rehearsed it, that thought in our mind. So we rehearsed that thought in our mind time after time until it became a personal crime. So much so that we become a Negro pen in this day and time. What's really going on? In 1865, the law was passed giving us 3/5 of a human being his freedom. The same law of saying what you worship, the devil, the enemy of God and all humanity. That's what's really going on. And see, in 1884, the Berlin Conference, when they divided up Africa, you got to remember those two things. And then the David Walker And David Walker had to make his appeal before the Ku Klux Klan sealed his face. Just like Emmett Till was the first to die for interracial relations and marriages, gross miscarriages of justice. You know, it said he whistled. And he was plunged to death and drowned and killed and mutilated, probably castrated. That's what they do. Oh, man. As you pledge allegiance to the red blood spilled by the so-called white man all over this blue universe, just because they said we were cursed, our red blood was spilled. Yes, the so-called black man all over this green land. But we are the original people, and the Creator made us first. But our alter ego just won't let us be ourselves. We got to know who we are and stop emulating, because that false star. We are the shining star of melanin, and believe that. What's really going on, though? What's really going on? The Third Reich talked of 1,000-year reign. So what does the new millennium bring? With the Bush clan doing their thing, Gorey Island and Coney Island are one and the same, a tourist attraction. I'm going to say that one more time. Gorey Island and Coney Island are one and the same as tourist attraction, without all the pain and dry blood and bones. Oh, man, a slave castle. To go back to relapse to a point in time where we first went into captivity. Then we come over here where New York is old Amsterdam, where they had instituted captivity, so-called slavery, and we have fun time. So we got to remember these things so it don't be no tourist attraction. It be a historical account of the madness of these Niagaras and what they did to us as a people. And as the Blair Bush project goes unchecked with the military-industrial complex, gaining a check of $365 billion a year for instilling fear and terror in far-off lands. As they export democracy and import suicide bombers. Now tell me, man, who in the hell will harm us? Weapons of mass destruction can't be found, maybe because they are here underground. Halliburton and Unical, White House corporations, continue their exploitation of all oil-producing nations. Does any of this madness make sense? When we are the original people and the Creator made us first, our alter ego won't let us go. Just as M&M is an imitation of life. We are not cursed, but what's worse than that, we won't stop emulating them. What's really going on? Reflection and contrast. That's what's really going on, man. We gotta stop, look, and listen and observe what's going on now. As you realize, that was like a historical account going up to the Bush era, the Bush and Blair thing, when they was going through that thing. It was like, lies and deception of the CIA, NSA, Interpol, all that. All the alphabet men came to mumble jumble information and give people, misdirect people into a quagmire of deception. This maze that we are in now. Aren't you amazed that 2016, December the 20th, 19th or something? Anyway, how could we be at this point in the development of the prosperity and all, and we still got this sickness we call white supremacy, white privilege? We still got it. Why can't equality be the norm? Because of the deception, because of the lies, the non-ability of people, a race of people, to accept who they are and accept who we are, and come together on that note or rhythm or rhyme, come together in the reality of that, and let go of your misconceived, self-made synthetic world that you call the matrix or you call democracy. But if you live and your true nature be known, your soulless attitude that you have against everything of color that's melanated, carbonated, the essence of the energy of the Creator, and stop hoarding everything from your greed and your lust. You got everything and want more. All you gotta do is share a little bit of your wealth and let equality be on an equal playing field. Or do what you know is right. All the years of free labor, through the days and nights from 16 something up to so-called 1865, and those couple of years of terrorism after that, up until this point, you got to give us reparation, because this is not a equal playing field, and it ain't no plaything. This is reality. But you put into your 20-year plans and all that you try to implement, and you have been doing it over the years. But please, could you tell me, for my ears, if America is a corporation of England, and this is a combo of states, military, financial, and religion, and it's all a corporation, and it's business as usual, are y'all gonna let us at the business table and partake of some of this ill-gain? We don't want the ill-gain wealth that you got off our backs. We want you to purify this and do what you should do, because I don't understand how you give money to the Jew. Or did the Germans do that? Or did you do it for the Germans? Or is the Germans incorporated into this United States of hypocrisy and they got the money? If you can give the Jews money, or the Germans can give the Jews money for what they did to them, and you can also give money to the Chinese for what you did to them, dropping the bombs over there and locking them up over here, but you gave them money. And also, you gave money to us in a deceptive manner, because we don't know who we are, and you covered it all with your flagrism and stuff like that to the Native American. And they don't have to pay taxes. We shouldn't have to pay taxes, because all the free labor that we did, when I say we, I'm talking about the lineage, you see. I'm talking about my forefathers. I'm talking about my great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. I'm talking about 100 or 200 years ago, 300 at the most. Free labor that got to United States at the level of financial wealth that it is. One of the most powerful nations in the world, with a stable economy, and with all this trickery going on behind the scenes with the criminal see, you do criminal activity at a high level. What they say, white collar with the tie and the suit. See, you be dropping bombs on nation and taking their wealth. You went into Iraq and took all that money that y'all had and all that gold that y'all had in them big old tractor trailers. Where's the accountability for that? Did you count that money? Did you count that gold? The same thing in Libya. Not only that, you you destroyed historical relics in that country. You try to destroy the history to keep your mystery what it is, and you lie about your story is his lies. When I say his lies, I be talking about the lies you told about history. So today I'm gonna close early, and I ain't gonna get into my verbiage, because it was a couple of more poems that I wanted to read, but they're not over here. I think I put them back in the vault, and I don't have them out, so I ain't gonna go over there and get them, because I read the rest of these. These here. Let me see, what is this about? Oh, here it go right here. Here it go right here. Here it go right here. I wanted to share this sister's poem here, and maybe my son's poem, because I did that the other day too, when I was telling you about the words we had, and he did one and I did one. Well, I'm going to read the one he did based on the same words, and I thought that his poem was better than mine. I give credit where credit is due. So it's called Word. He said, people these days necessitate war. Ain't it an irony? In order for peace to happen, a bilateral war must be fought, leaving children feeling ravenous. Others build their own theocracy to liberate all. But my handwriting might not be good. At least I have excellent candor. I just want to make a comment. Don't you know they don't teach our children how to write cursive anymore? Do you know that? That is really insane. And let me go on into this. There are endless maladies these days, especially of the soul. Children are carrying their belongings in scuttles. All this defraud happening, depriving people of their souls, leaving empty holes. But my generation and me are going to change all that, one mind at a time. Man, I think that was so awesome, man, for him to write and use those words like that. And you can see the reality of what he's saying, what's happening. You can just see it in our city here. You can see it in Ward 8 of our city per se. Trayon White, Marcus Baxter, all the young ANC members coming up and shining like the sun and the star, like a star, because the sun is just a star, and being productive in their duties as elected officials with a purpose and aim and a movement to gain. Stand up, truth to power, speaking the truth. Warriors, really, with a plan, with a vision. We just got to get behind them and support them. Unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. So I want to go into this. This is by a sister that I knew. Her name was Chris Johnson. She passed, but she was on Poetry Avenue also. And she wrote, this is a beautiful poem to me. It's called We Are the Light Bearers. We are encapsulated truth, unfolding the dawn of a new day. Wonderful, undeniable, incontestable star. Amazing we are. Able to bend, shape, define our reality, our experiences of life. Able to spread our wings and become everything we choose to be. More joy, more peace, more love, more celebration. We are the answer. We are the journey and the destination. We are the voice of wisdom, reason, and influence. We are golden, beholden, unbridled and wild. Free to embrace this planetary space, this realm of mystery, of discovery. It's our time to explore the taboo, the unknown, the forgotten. We are powerful beings that we deny too often. We are not earthbound misfits. We are not world-bound by monotonous consciousness. that plagues the human spirit. We are more than just another notch in the universal belt. We are souls of purpose, intention, and consequence. We are the course of our own future. We are the choice of our own existence. We are the light of hope, of oneness, of purity, of harmony. We are the light of beautiful light. We are free, ethereal, and sublime, shining, intertwining, beautiful light. For only the light binds the troubled hearts, soothes the savage mind of humanity, comforts the pain of history wars, ends the destruction pattern. We are the light bearers, everlasting to everlasting. It's time to unite and fight, refute the era of darkness, dispel the mindset of fear, feed its toxic control. No more, even the score, and let the utopia of love begin. Free, ethereal, special in the sublime, in the spectral of multicolored time. Shining, intertwining, binding the troubled heart, soothing the savage mind of consciousness, confronting the pain of history wars, was her postscript. Again, this was Sister Chris M. Johnson, and she went to the next realm. But as an ancestor, she is always in my heart and my mind, and that's a beautiful, profound piece that proclaims us as light bearers, which we are. We're carrying this torch for the next generation of leaders. In this political era, we have to unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure, a strong one. We have to be strong spiritually, mentally, and physically. So we have to exercise on all those levels and become morally and righteously, divinely pure in this day and time, man. Crime has got to stop among us. We got to stop using drugs because it's a weapon being used against us. We got to just, work or be entrepreneurs and pool our resources, come together, unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure to be strong together, unified in one purpose, one aim, and one goal. And whatever your talent is, use it. Whatever niche you have found, use it. But don't do it in an egotistical, self-centered manner. You don't have to trip and show all this materialistic wealth. Show your lineal wealth, man. Bring up your children. Tell our children that when they go to school to learn who you are. Do the curriculum and all that. Do the work. That's all you got to do. It's like a job. Do the work. Do your homework. And maintain your sanity and your discipline. It's about discipline and self-control. We, as parents in our households, we got to do the same, man. We got to find that discipline and that self-control. Why do we always use their implements of destruction against ourselves? How many liquor stores they got in our community? The beer, the liquor, the wine, and all that. How often do we do that to our temple, which is our body? And we be in a stupor. It's feel good sensation. Man, a natural high is better than any high that you can get, especially today. You see what it does to you, and you still venture into those hallways of nonsense or whatever, or try and chase a high feeling. Ain't nothing better than you and a sister, a queen and a king coming together. Two spirits to found themselves and become soully attached, spiritually attached. And just deal with that. I know that for me, it's like the Creator, He put so many beautiful sisters here and so many strong, handsome brothers here that and they say it's more sisters than brothers. And we just gotta come together, man, and find that one. And if that one want to help another sister or whatever, let her do that. Let her bring another sister into your relationship if it's so, or if it to be so. We might have to do that to make our living situation more flexible, more feasible, so that the so-called word cheating will be out of our vocabulary. We are a village. We are brothers and sisters. We are a family. We got to help each other, man, surmount these odds against us. It's always a word against us. But the blessing is we still here, 2016. Every plan they come about, we go through that obstacle and get on the other side. And this time is no different. We just got to be patient, watch and observe, and be ready for whatever. So my next thing is to say that we need to get some survival equipment, because we don't know if the electrical grid or whatever might go off. Whatever happens, we got to be prepared for it. Not as individuals, but as a group. We got to, whatever naturally that's be coming together, our relationships, we got to come together and bind together, you know, like some glue, like some natural glue, some divine glue, with our minds and our spirits coming together naturally. So with that, I think I'm going to prepare for the day. Good morning to who that just came in. Oh, King J, I think. Man, we all good. I'm just a student teacher. I mean, and I love my people. And I'm studying. I'm studying myself, because it says on the walls, ancient Kemet, Nubia, interior Africa, from the pygmy, the little short brothers, to the big old Zulus and the Maasai, the big old tall brothers, and all between. See, we got to study ourselves, and once we know who we are and practice that, the deity, the creator, that energy is within this body. And that's an example of it. When we can take that breath of life every day, the Lord bless us to get up, open these eyelids, in that electrical process that never stops, to keep us kicking and moving. That's what we got to do. We got to know ourselves. We got to understand the inner verse through the DNA of who we are, so we can have an effect upon the universe. See, that's what they control, the universe. They control it through what these apparatus like we on now, like I'm talking to you and you listening. See, all this is controlling when you use it wrong, you know. And our people got to come out of all that showing fights and all this. And I mean, we can't be caught up in the stupor of their stupidity, because there's nothing worse than stupidity and asinine behavior. We got to be strong in examples for our youth, for our children, and for people around the world. Because the time now is coming together, unifying. These apparatus make everything global, just like that, instantaneously, spontaneously. It can be good and it can be bad. It depends on how you use it. But I'll end with this. We must stop being criminal to each other, towards each other. We got to stop stealing. We got to stop killing. We got to stop selling drugs and using drugs. I know it's a method of money making and all that, but it's also a trap. It's a trap that they want for us to become slaves. It's a trap for depopulation, because you sometimes and most of the time have to put somebody in the grave. And it's not necessary if we doing what's right. If we pool our resources, we can have the same thing that we're looking for, searching for. The same high, the natural high, the same fun. We make each other laugh. Just being truthful and honest with each other, and stop being manipulating people and lying to each other. See, that's not our character nor our personality. We get that from the people that we emulate. We emulate because you see they lied about everything. They lied about our story. They got us walking in an unglorified manner. We just under their, let's say, their thumb, their system. It is supposed to be a democratic system, but it's demonic. It's demonic in the sense that how many times did they lynch us? How many times did they defellalize us? They decapitated us. They mutilated us. They did all these things. They raped our women for hundreds of years, man. They did all these things, and they supposed to be so, spiritual. I tell you the truth. The creator that they worship can't be the same creator that I worship, because my creator is not going to put in the book that I'm a slave, that a human being is a slave, and to mind the guy that's going to lynch me and whoop me and all that. Well, I'm doing it again. Not supposed to be ending, which I'll do. I'll say this here. In my love for my people, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep saying what I'm saying until I go to the next realm, however I may go there. Because I love my people. I have no choice. I have no choice. And if I can go, like my brother said, the Village Poets on Guitar of the Minds, George McCord, he said, if you can go back and do it all over again and come back like you wanted, would you do it black? Knowing that all the odds are against you and all that, would you go back and do it black? He said, what the hell you think? Excuse my language. And I feel the same way. I wouldn't want to do it no other way than this melanated, carbonated spirit that I am, in the essence of the creator, of the understanding and of the understanding and overstanding of the Akabulan ancient wisdom, of the interior of Akabulan, the Kemetic and the Nubian, from the Pygmies to the Zulu and the Maasai. I say peace, power, and love earnestly for my people, for our people. Let's unify and come together, man, especially in this political climate, and be observant, watchful, keep your ears open, keep exercising your spirit, your mind, and your body, wherever you go to, the temple, the masjid, the church, or whatever. Remember, though, unification is our strength, and peace, not separately, but together, peace develops power. Melanated power, carbonated power, divine power, what we need to do. Tell somebody you love them today. Hug somebody today in a spiritual way. Not a lustful way, not in a carnal way, but in a spiritual, humane way. Tell somebody you love them, hug them, motivate them, stimulate them, agitate them to open their eyes and stop walking around with their eyes wide shut. Come out of that syndrome of being a slave and under robot control. Learn, get wisdom and knowledge from books and from this apparatus, what we call the Facebook or the anything, Google or whatever. You can speak a word in there and the definition will come up. Anything that somebody tell you, just don't take it for granted. Look it up. Anything that you heard me say, look it up. Because I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to speak the truth no matter who it affect. It should affect you in a positive way. That's what my weapon is, truth. I'm armored with the protection of the light or the anointing of Christ. Because I'm a spiritual warrior, I'm a mystical warrior, warrior, priest, king, and a mystic griot. With that, peace, power, and love. From the divine to your mind, in the chambers in the pyramid of your mind. Understand the universe to affect the universe. Love y'all.